Hey, greetings Indie Warriors, good to be with you once again. Old Gamer Joe here, bringing you another review. We are looking at Toem, an adventure game where you are utilizing your camera to take pictures and solve various puzzles. I've always liked this concept of using your camera as a gameplay mechanic, even all the way back to Pokemon Snap on my Nintendo 64. Some of you horror fans out there might be familiar with the Fatal Frame series, where you're using your camera as a weapon. In Toem, you're not really having any sort of violent encounters though. This is a really peaceful, enjoyable, relaxing experience that I had a blast playing. In Toem, you play as a cute little photographer whose main goal is to go around to different areas and, well, to help people by utilizing their camera in different ways. Advancing from level to level is easy enough. All you have to do is collect a set number of stamps, but each of these areas also has bonus stamps that you can collect, usually around 15 or so on a given map. In total, you have about 64 stamps to try to collect throughout the game, and there's 54 creatures for you to find as well and photograph. It's not all necessary to complete the game again, but it is an option if you want to go for 100%. The quests that you receive in this game can seem a little bit overwhelming at first, but you do have a logbook that keeps track of everything, so you won't feel like you're too overwhelmed, and a lot of these quests are really cute and fun. For example, you might have to find a stranger hidden across the world, and he's usually in a tricky spot. You'll need to photograph him and then show him to the right character in order to get a stamp for that. There's a character that's worried about his spot on the beach. There's another character that's afraid of a giant fish. Lots of cute quests, and the ways that you use your camera are pretty interesting. Controlling Toem is no problem whatsoever. Most of the interactable points are easily labeled. You just push the A button in order to talk to characters and gain new quests. You have that quest logbook that keeps track of everything. And then you have your camera, which you can zoom in and out with. You can flip it around to take a selfie of yourself. That also leans into some of the puzzles. Eventually, it gets a little horn on it where you can surprise certain characters. And generally speaking, I found that the puzzle design was well executed. I also liked how you could zoom in and out on the screen itself and really get a good view of everything. There's a ton of cute little accessories that you'll be able to equip to your character as well, including hats that will allow you to access areas that you otherwise wouldn't have been able to. The game is just really cute. That's the best way to sum it up. Easy to play, adorable, but enjoyable. Some really great writing here to go along with an interesting visual presentation. The game is entirely in black and white, which I think is kind of a unique decision because, well, I could have seen some color in this one, to be honest. You're taking so many photographs that I really think it would have been nice to have these vibrant photos instead of this constant black and white aesthetic. I don't mind it. I actually think the game looks pretty cool, but I do find it a little bit of a strange decision just based on the way this game plays. Now, based on the few developer interviews that I've seen around this game, they've stated that the reason for this black and white aesthetic was that so you could put more emphasis on the distance and taking good photos. I still feel like color would have been nice. Just my opinion, though. Despite the lack of color, the game still does ooze a lot of personality in the whimsical characters that you'll come across, the different settings. They're really well designed. Again, I loved how you could rotate around these areas. It's wonderful to see all of the work that went into each section of the game and all of the different areas that you'll explore. I think they've done a good job visually here, despite the fact that I wasn't a fan of the black and white as much as perhaps some of you will be, but I also think the sound design of the game is really great. You actually have the option to switch between tracks at your own free will as you unlock more and more of them. They're all peaceful, cozy, and relaxing as you might expect. Nothing really in your face, no metal or anything like that here. Very relaxing game in general, so it makes sense that the soundtrack would be similar. For the sake of not ruining too much of the Toem experience, I'm not going to go into too much more detail about this game. That's not me being lazy, but I think part of the fun of this game is the joy of discovery and solving these puzzles yourself with the camera. I really enjoyed the chill vibe of Toem. I like the gameplay. I think the writing is a lot of fun. It's a game that doesn't take itself too seriously. It's relaxing, just as they advertised it to be. While one could question the lack of color, I do think that the writing is strong, the gameplay is easy enough for anyone to enjoy, and the soundtrack was wonderful with some nice sound effects to accompany everything and make it a cute experience as well. Absolutely zero performance issues to mention on the PC version of the game, can't speak to the Switch version, but overall, Toem comes highly recommended. I could definitely see it being a game that would benefit from being in handheld mode. I think it's a good fit for the Switch as well. I'd say if you like puzzles that won't stress you out or tick you off too much and you really like photography, definitely check out Toem. Thank you so much for watching the latest video from I Dream of Indie. We would now like to take a moment to pay tribute to our great indie warriors who support us through channel memberships. Mitchell Hall, Bunny, Kevalo, Bill Tcaz, Christian Cruz, Strict9, Chris Jackson, Nathan Moore, Peach, Adriana Amato, CJR, PSC, C Coil, Skepticism, Jen Rose, Jesse, CPM, Julian Colbus, and JRS8. Thank you so much for all you do for independent developers, publishers, and for I Dream of Indie. Everybody else, please head down to the description box below, let's defeat the echo chamber, and bring a voice to the voiceless ones in gaming.